The Volkswagen Beetle is one of the most unique cars to ever go into production. This particular example today is a 2008 Volkswagen Beetle with the 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder. So let's go ahead and take an in-depth look at the car. We'll start it up and go over any of the unique aspects that the vehicle has. So without any further ado, let's start the engine and let it run. Here's the key for the vehicle. It's Volkswagen's standard switchblade key. All you have to do to release the blade is just push this button right here and the blade flips forward just like so. You have your lock, trunk release, and unlock functions on the front, as well as your panic functions on the side, all accented in the blue and white Volkswagen logo on the back. So let's go ahead and start it up. Now, coming to the door of the Beetle, you do have body colored door handles. Doors feel really nice and solid, which is a very typical German thing. Germans always produce very solid cars, and this is no exception. And then to start, all you have to do is insert the key into the ignition and twist to start. Engine starts up perfectly. Now, looking at the gauges are super easy to read. You have your tachometer down below right here, alongside your fuel gauge, and then a massive speedometer all in this little bubble capsule type thing. So let's go ahead and check out the exterior. We'll turn on the headlights, as well as the hazards. And, as you can see, power windows for both the driver and passenger side of the vehicle. Now, like I said before, the Volkswagen Beetle is one of the most unique vehicles to ever go into production, and this 2008 Volkswagen New Beetle is no exception. You can see it has a very rounded and bubbly style, but still maintains a nice modern and fresh look as well. You can see this one is in a silver exterior, a very clean exterior, I might add. There's hardly any dings or scratches, just typical used car wear and tear, but this one is exceptionally clean. Coming to the back, you can see you have your standard reflector beam taillights, as well as your turn signals down below, and your reverse lights are integrated into the rear bumper diffuser. You have your LED third brake light right here, as well as your Volkswagen emblem right there. You can see there's your fuel filler door, located on the back hip of the Beetle, if you will. Coming to the rims, we have 205/55 R16, so 16-inch aluminum alloy rims with 4-wheel disc brakes all the way around. Body colored mirror caps with LED turn signals integrated into the side. And then coming around to the front, you can see you have your standard projector beam headlights with your high beams located down below, as well as your turn signals located into the bumper. Now, one of the unique aspects of the Beetle that most people don't notice is the shape of the wiper blades. They're actually rounded off so that they will fit down into the rounded section of the windshield. So that's a pretty cool little feature and shows that Volkswagen definitely gives attention to detail. So let's go ahead and open up the hood and see what she's got. In order to open the hood, all you have to do is locate this little gray lever right down here and pull back. And then, once you come to the front of the car, just pull out on this little tab and lift up. The hood is supported by struts rather than a prop, so that's a very nice feature that a lot of cars don't offer today. Now, coming to the engine, we have Volkswagen's corporate 2.5 liter inline 5-cylinder. You can see it's a super clean engine bay, and the engine runs perfectly. Very quiet, no shakes or rattles or anything like that. And it's actually a pretty good engine overall. It's been in production for Volkswagen for a long time and has proven to be one of the most reliable engines that they've ever produced. I'll add the fuel economy and power specifications into the annotations here. So, we'll go ahead and move on to the interior. Closing the hood is very easy. The hood's very light. Sounds super solid when you close it up. Again, the doors feel very solid when opening them up. Turn off the headlights, as well as the hazards. Now coming to the top of the door panel, this is another unique aspect of the Volkswagen Beetle. You have a body color plastic insert on the top of the door. So say if your Volkswagen Beetle was yellow, this portion will be yellow right here, but in this particular case, this one is silver. Then coming down, you have a vinyl padded armrest, as well as a door pull right here. There's your power window controls right there. Power mirrors, power door locks, and your chrome plated door handle. Another little neat feature is the storage bin in the door is a net rather than a typical pocket. Here's your trunk release right here. We'll go ahead and pull that and check that out, as well as your fuel filler door. Now coming to the cargo bay of the Beetle, you're actually welcomed with quite a lot of storage room. As you can see, you have a foldable cargo cover, which is removable by the way, if you don't want that in there. Here you have your 6-disc CD changer, as well as a really nice flat load floor, and the lift over height is very short, so you won't have to pick up your heavier items. So that's a pretty nice feature. Rear seats also fold down. Just push on this little tab right here, and they tumble forward just like so, leaving a flat load floor. And then to put them back, just pull them back into place. It is a hatchback style, so we'll go ahead and close it up. Sounds really solid when you close it. Here's your fuel filler door right here. And another nice feature is you actually have a little rubber guard to keep fuel from dumping out onto your paint and stripping your wax. So that's a nice feature as well. There's your cap right there. So we'll go ahead and close this up. And let's move on to the interior. Now stepping into the Volkswagen Beetle is very easy. With the bubbly design, you have tons of headroom, so you definitely won't be smacking your head on the roof. Coming to the top of the dash, you do have this very interestingly grained material right here, and it is soft touch by the way. And then you have your instrument cluster. Coming down, you have a harder plastic material but feels incredibly solid. It doesn't feel flimsy or hollow or anything. Here's your panel dim controls right here. Cruise control is located on the turn signal stalks right here. There's how to turn it on, and then your set and resume. And then slide it back to the right to turn it off. Steering wheel is not leather wrapped, but that's alright. It has a very nice graining on it and is actually nicely thick and doesn't feel cheap like a lot of non-leather wrapped steering wheels do. Here's your horn. Very loud horn. And then a lot of people may wonder what this is right here, but it's actually a little holder that you can put flowers in, which Volkswagen will include some flowers, or you can add a little bit of water in there and have your own flowers to make your cabin smell nice and fresh. Coming to the top here, your materials are a harder plastic, but they still feel very solid. Here's your radio right here. It is a monsoon stereo system, but I won't be able to demonstrate that due to YouTube copyright issues, but you have all the adjustments you could ever need, and you also have satellite radio. Here's your very simple climate control. It's almost dummy proof. AC right there, as well as recirculate. Different zones right there. Here's your traction control button right here, as well as your rear defrost. Coming down, you have a 12-volt power outlet, as well as a little rubberized storage tray for coins or anything like that. Here's the shifter. It's a Volkswagen 6-speed automatic with manual shiftability, as well as sport mode down below. So we'll pop it back into park. Coming to the passenger side of the dashboard, you can see you have your airbag cover right here. It is also soft to the touch. And then you have a pretty nice and solid grab handle right here for when you have the more spirited driving moments. Coming to the lockable glove box, the lid is damped, and it's actually pretty decently sized. You could definitely get an iPad or a small netbook or something like that in there. It does come with all of its books, as you can see, and sounds really solid when you close it. Coming to the roof, you have a nice little sunglasses storage area or a chain storage tray or whatever you wanted to use this for. This is a pretty versatile little area up here. Here you have your clock as well as your exterior temperature. Headliner is super plush and really solid. Doesn't feel like a paper towel like a lot of cars do. Sun visors are very solid as well. You have your mirror and vanity light. Same thing on the passenger side. You have oh no handles right here, as well as right here. Both passengers do get them. Here's your dimming rear view mirror right here. You just flip this little tab to dim. And then you have reading lamps on the underside. You can just flip this little switch right here and a reading lamp will come on. Coming back down, you can see you have your e-brake control right here, as well as dual cup holders right there, and another 12-volt power outlet. Coming to the center armrest, you can see it opens up and you have a pretty decent little carpeted storage tray. You could keep your phone or your wallet or something like that in there. The lid is padded and it's actually pretty sure-footed. It doesn't wiggle around, and it is also adjustable. You can see this little button right here. Just hold that in and then release it wherever you'd like to have your armrest positioned. So we'll go ahead and check out the back seat. Now, accessing the back seat of the Beetle is actually very easy. All you do is just lift up on this right here and then pull, and the seat does tumble forward. And then bringing the seat back into position. There's actually plenty of room back here, especially for a two-door. You wouldn't expect a car of this class to have that much room, but you can see my knees are just up against the back of the seat, but they're not crammed back there, and I actually have tons of foot room for my feet to slide up under the seat. You also have an integrated cup holder right there, mat pocket on the driver and passenger side. Seats are actually really comfortable. There's plenty of thigh support. And you do have a rubberized section right here for your armrest. There's your speaker right there and seat belts right here. Headroom is a little on the tighter side, but if you scoot back, it's really not all that bad. I'm about 5'10" or 5'11", and my head's barely touching the ceiling, so the back seat would be perfect for those shorter passengers. You also have an adjustable driver's headrest, and like I said, these back seats do fold down. And then climbing out, you do the exact same thing. The seat pops up and tumbles forward to allow for incredibly easy entry and exit of the back seat. So let's go ahead and take this 2008 Volkswagen Beetle on a test drive. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, the first thing that I'm noticing getting into the Bug is the visibility is very interesting in here. You have a very long dashboard, but that's okay. You can definitely see over it perfectly, and it actually adds a sense of security to the car, believe it or not. Alrighty. And as you can tell, ride quality is actually pretty good in here. You wouldn't really expect a little sports car like this to ride very comfortably, but it really does. That dip back there is usually one that gives cars' suspensions a workout, but this one took it just fine and gave me no problems at all. Brakes feel really nicely suited to this car. They don't feel underpowered or overpowered. A lot of times cars will have too hard of an initial bite and kind of slam you forward, but this one doesn't do that at all. The brakes behave exactly how you think they should, and it's a very intuitive pedal. Now, another thing that I'm noticing when I'm getting going is the engine is exceptionally torquey. It has a lot of low-down torque and a lot of low-down grunt, and then when you continue to rev it out, the car just pulls even more. As you can probably tell, I'm on a little bit of a rougher road surface right now, and the interior is actually very quiet. There's a tiny bit of road noise coming through, but that's to be expected with any low-profile tire. But wind noise is next to none. You can barely hear the wind outside. And like I said, ride quality is very good. It doesn't crash over bumps. It just it almost kind of evens the bumps out and makes them as if they don't even exist. You can see now I'm on a smoother road surface, and there's absolutely zero noise coming into the cabin. So that's a very nice feature and very typical of all German cars. German cars are really solidly built and have a lot of interior insulation to isolate you from what's going on the outside. And keep in mind, German cars are designed to do 130, 140 miles an hour every day on the German autobahns. So the roads that we have here in America are absolutely nothing compared to what they're put through in Germany. So they have to be built to a standard. And that standard is set very high, and you can definitely tell when driving the Bug. It corners exceptionally flat. effortless. This 2.5-liter inline 5 has a lot of grunt for such a small engine, and moving around such a small car, you can definitely tell that it's a little pocket rocket, and that's one of the lovable characteristics about the Volkswagen Beetle that people have always flocked to, is it's just a really fun and really cool little car to drive, and it's just kind of lovable. Driving it, you kind of fall in love with it because it's just so quirky and unique. And that's how it should be when you own a car. You should definitely feel attached to your car. You shouldn't feel like you're driving around an appliance or a utility machine or something like that. You should feel like you're driving around something that you really love and really enjoy, and this car definitely gives you that. Like I said, the brakes are very well modulated, they're very intuitive, and they work exactly how your mind thinks they should. Gas pedal is very easy to manage as well. And that 2.5-liter 5-cylinder makes a pretty fun little noise. It's kind of fun-loving and like, give me more. I want to play and I want to have fun. It's just a fun little car. And if you're in the market for a 2-door coupe and you're not really sure what you want, but you want something that gets good fuel economy and has a lot of personality, definitely check out the Volkswagen Beetle, because it's definitely something that brings something very unique to the market, and that is style. A lot of cars don't really have as much style as this does, and this gets a lot of praise for that. It's a very nice driving car, ride quality is excellent, you still get great fuel economy, it's got a really powerful little engine, steering is very communicative, you get tons of road feel. I couldn't ask for more road feel coming through the wheel. This particular one has about 48,000 miles on it and still feels as solid as a rock, and there's really no squeaks or rattles in the interior. Everything is screwed together really nicely, and the car has a heft to it, which is a typical characteristic of German cars, is they just feel solid as a bank vault, and this definitely lives up to that. So like I said, if you're in the market for something similar to the Beetle, definitely check it out, because it's not something that should be ignored. It's a car that just makes you happy to drive, and that's why so many people do. This particular one is located up at Fairway Auto Center in Tyler, Texas, and they're one of the best used car dealerships around. So if you're in the East Texas area, don't sell yourself short. Pay them a visit, check out this little bug, because it's one of the cleanest ones that I've ever seen. Now, going back to interior comfort, the seats are exceptional. They're wrapped in Volkswagen's VTEX leatherette, but they could pass for leather any day. They're super comfortable. There's loads of lateral support, lumbar support, thigh support is plentiful, and I wouldn't hesitate taking this on a cross-country trip any day. It feels like it could drive from New York to LA and have no problem, and you would be enjoying the entire trip and be very comfortable the entire time. And I didn't get to demonstrate the stereo, but I have listened to it on my own, and it sounds absolutely excellent. Monsoon produces excellent stereos, and Germans won't put chintzy and cheap sounding stereos in their cars, because that's just not the German way. And you can definitely tell here, this stereo sounds absolutely excellent. So that about concludes our tour and test drive of this 2008 Volkswagen Beetle. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and like I said, if you're in the area, definitely give Fairway a visit, because they'd love to work with you, and they'll do whatever they can to get you the best deal on this Beetle or any maker model that you're looking for. They have access to tons of used vehicles around the Texas area, and will do the very best that they can to get you the best deal, and they're a super friendly dealership too. My family and I have worked with them plenty of times in the past, and they have just been excellent to work with. They're a nice Christian-based dealership. So anyways, thank you guys for watching, and we will catch you next time.